Welcome to the Learning Lab class, Local News with NewsBank. My name is Melissa, and I'm one of the Adult and Teen Services librarians at the Arcadia Public Library. We're going to be taking a look at the resource NewsBank and discussing how to navigate search results. So let's get started. I'm here on the American News landing page for NewsBank, which is the portal that you can search all of the publications and resources within that database. So let's go ahead and do a search so that we can see how to navigate both the list of results and also individual search results. So I'm going to go ahead and search for Arcadia Public Library in quotes, like I did in the last video. I'm going to go ahead and hit search. So this is my basic search, and I've got a list of results. As we discussed in the previous video in this class, you can continue to refine or filter as well as sort your search results on this left-hand navigation menu. I'm going to go ahead and add the limiter of California to limit it down just a little. And let's take a look now at the various buttons that are in the search result list. You'll notice that the search result list that I have has the option to select all articles, which is 1 through 20. So I can go ahead and select all of them. And when I did that, it made these buttons go active. So let me show you what that looks like. So if I unclick, they go gray because I haven't told it which articles I need to do something with. So when I have articles selected, these buttons are then available. So I can select all the articles, or I can individually select ones that are of interest to me. So let's say this is the one that I am interested in. So I'm going to go back up to the top and let's talk about these different buttons. So this first one with the quotes and the C is for citations, and this will generate citations for the articles that I've selected, and I can select different citation styles. So if I click on this, it gives me all of these options for the different citation styles like APA, MLA, and more. This is particularly useful for student projects to help them keep their information organized. I'm going to close out of this. The next option we have is the icon of an envelope, and this is the email option. You can email articles to yourself by filling out this form. The email will be in an HTML format, and if you select multiple articles, that email that you get is going to have one article right after the other. So if you want the articles to be separate emails, you would just want to do this individually, but you would just fill out who you would like to send it to, your email address, and then if you want to include any message, and then you would just click send. If I had selected multiple articles and I wanted to see what was going to be included in this email, I can click this show list, and it'll tell me exactly which articles are going to be sent in this email. The next button is the print option, and it allows you to also select a citation style that is included in the footer of the article. So I can do LA. So then you would just go ahead and hit print and follow your normal printing procedure. The next icon with the down arrow and the line allows you to download articles to your device. Again, you'll want to select which citation style to be included on the footer. If that's not something it matters to you, you can leave it to the default. And then you would just go ahead and hit download, and it'll allow you to save it to your device. The amount of time this process takes will vary depending on how many articles you're downloading, and it will save them in a PDF format. Again, like with emailing articles to yourself, if you select more than one article, they're going to be downloaded as a combined document. If you want the articles separate from one another for either email or download, you'll want to select the articles one at a time when emailing or downloading. And you can always check what you're downloading by clicking on that show list or to see what is included in this document that you're going to download. Finally, the last button allows you to save to your personal folder. You have the ability to create a personal account within NewsBank, and that allows you to utilize additional features within the database. Some of those benefits include allowing you to save and organize articles, set up alerts, and save searches. If you're interested in using these additional features, you can create an account by clicking on the Create a Personal Folder option in this pop-up. So you would click right here to create a personal folder. If you already have one and you just haven't signed in yet in the session, you can go ahead and sign in here. I'm going to back out of this and show you the other place that you can go to create an account. Right up top here, you can click on Session Folder and you can sign in from here as well, or you can create a personal folder. So to create a personal folder, you would just fill out this form. And as I mentioned in our Digital Privacy Basics Learning Lab, which if you haven't watched already is also available on our YouTube channel, you do not ever need to give factual information to most websites on the internet, with very few exceptions. So for this form, it's perfectly acceptable to enter your email address and then whatever you want for the first and the last name, and then be sure to use a unique password for the account. So I already have a personal account, so I'm going to go ahead and close this and log into my account, and then I'll show you the additional features in action. So now that I'm signed in, I can go ahead and utilize that last button and add articles to a folder in my account. The default folder is going to be called My Saved Articles. But if you're doing research on multiple topics or just want some additional organization in your account, you do have the ability to create and label additional folders. So to access your folders, you'll head to the top here and select My Saved Articles from the drop-down menu. My drop-down menu says Arcadia because I entered Arcadia as my first name when I signed up for this account. So I'm going to go ahead and click on My Saved Articles, and this will show me all the articles that I have saved. To create additional folders to organize my articles into, I would select an article, and then I would click on the Move Article button, which is this one, the Save to Folder, and then I can create a new folder from here. So if I wanted to move this one into test, I could. If I wanted to make a whole new folder for a whole new research topic, I could do that as well. So let's take a look at the additional personal account features. I'm going to head back to the search results. And the next one is the Save Search option. This button is going to be right at the top of your search results. And when you create a search, you may want to save that search to repeat in the future, especially if it was particularly complex or you don't want to have to recreate it every single time you come to the database. You can save yourself some time by saving your search. When you click this Save Search button, it will automatically be saved in the folder My Saved Searches. You can then access that from up top under My Saved Searches. This is where you can manage your searches, and really in this case the only option you have is to delete a search. So if you no longer need it, you can go ahead and select it and delete it. All right, if I head back to the search results, there's also this Create Alert option. This feature is not exclusive to the personal account, but it is easier to manage with a personal account. What this is emails that will be sent to you when there are new search results based on your search, and they can be delivered at different frequencies. So if I was interested in being notified every time there was a news article about the Arcadia Public Library in California, which is what this search is, I can click at this button at the top of my form, fill out my information, and have that emailed to me with whatever frequency I am interested in. So I'd fill out my email address, and then the frequency options are 4 times a day, 2 times a day, once a day, or once a week. So if I were to fill out this form with my email address, the frequency, I can select the day of the week I get them delivered. I'm going to go ahead and create the alert. And if I have a personal folder, it is easier to manage these. I can go ahead and close this, and then I can manage them from my saved alerts. And you'll notice that it shows up here, and pretty much in this one, I have 2 options. I can edit it when I have it selected, or I can delete it. So it does make editing or deleting the alert a little bit easier. If you don't have a personal account and you've set up an alert, you can unsubscribe using the link at the bottom of the email that you're sent from the email alert. So we've taken a look at the many options from within the search result list, but let's go ahead and take a look at the options and how you can navigate an individual search result. So I'm going to go down here and click on this article, and that is how I would get to an individual search result. So the first thing you'll notice is that a lot of the buttons right on the top are the same as those that we saw on the search results page. Above those buttons is the ability to browse the articles using the previous and next button right up here. Below that, we have a new button over here with a little a and a big A, and this one increases the font size. So this is the standard font size, and if I click on it, I can make it just a little bit bigger. The next new button is the hyperlink button, which sort of looks like a paperclip, and this gives you the long and complicated link to this article, which you can copy and then use elsewhere. And then the last new button is this green button, which is share to a Google Classroom, and this integrates the article into the Google product Google Classroom, which is a great feature for teachers who are using that platform. Now, below those buttons is information about the article itself. There's the title, the date of publication, the publication it appeared in, what page it was on, what section it was in, and then a little metadata about the article. And metadata is just data about the data. So this article is 145 words. The readability, it gives the Lexile level and what the recommended grade level is. Now, one of the cool features of this database is that it can actually read you the article. You'll want to highlight the information you'd like it to read and then click on the Read News Document button. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this first paragraph, and I can go ahead and click Listen here, or I can click this play button here. So if I go ahead and click play, I got a pop-up that needs me to consent to using an external service to access that content. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And if it's okay with you, you can also click OK. And then it'll just get going and it will read you the article. You do also, as you saw, I paused it, but you can go ahead and hit play again. There is stop, there's forward, there's back or backwards and forwards. You can adjust the volume and the speed. And when you no longer need it to read to you, you can clear it by closing the player. I'm going to let it read for just a second, just so you get a sense of how it would do that.
Artist JT. SATA will be the subject of a virtual program at 2 p.m. on Saturday, Oct. 10, hosted by the Arcadia Public Library.
So you get a sense it is an automated voice, but it does give additional options for accessibility. So when you're done with that, you would just hit the X here and it'll close that out. So I'm going to go ahead back to the e-resources page and we're going to take a look at the Arcadia Weekly and the Pasadena Star News before we wrap up this video. So back at Arcadia Weekly, this is the portal where you can browse issues in addition to performing a search. I'm going to click on the most recent issue, and you'll notice that when I'm browsing and have not performed a search, that I don't have the same buttons as I did when I performed a search, since I'm just browsing. I'm going to click on the first article, and we're going to see what that looks like. This should look pretty familiar. It has all the same options that we just looked at. So we can browse the issue right up here to the next article, and then it's got all those additional buttons and then the ability to read the document. If I head back and go to the Pasadena Star News collection, this is slightly different navigation. So I can perform a search in the image version if I wanted to, using that second option and then doing a search. So I did a search for Arcadia Public Library in quotes and I don't get any results, but that's good to know what that looks like in case that ever happens to you. No big deal. I'm just going to go ahead and change my search to Pasadena Public Library. Go ahead and hit search. And you'll notice that these search results are slightly different than the full text results that we have seen over the course of this video. Because this is the image version of the publication, the search results give me a little snippet preview of the image that has the phrase that I searched. If I click on the article, it will take me to the part of the page that has my results. And you'll notice that I'm pretty zoomed in right now. There are these 4-way arrow buttons that will jump it right out to fit to the whole screen. But as you can see, it's a very big page. But I can use the plus sign to zoom in. And then if I need to move where I am on the page, I can click and hold and then drag to get to where I need to read the thing I was trying to read. There are page thumbnails over here on the right-hand side, which is another way to navigate through this publication. And then the last difference in image versus text is you can clip a particular part of the page to download or print. It allows you to select part of the image that you're seeing and gives you the additional option of saving it to Google Drive. So let's just take a look at what that would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print. And I can print either the full page or I can select a clip. So if I want to select a clip, I get this little box that I am able to manipulate and move around and drag the different things so that I can print exactly what I want to read. So I'm essentially cutting the part where it says Pasadena Public Library. I'm getting that little bit. And then I would just go ahead and hit print clip and follow the prompts for printing. So in the download option, it allows you to also download the full page or select a clip. And when I select a clip, it will allow me to then, I can download it as a PDF, or I can also save it to a Google Drive account if that is a better option for me. So in this video, we learned how to navigate search results of the NewsBank databases. This is the last video in our Learning Lab class, Local News with NewsBank. We hope that you'll check out our other Learning Lab classes on our YouTube channel. And as always, feel free to reach out to library staff if you have any additional questions.